hope you had a lovely day, because I certainly did not. I'm sick, I guess you can hear it in my voice. By the way, hi, I'm Elena. I'm 18 years old and I'm Greek. And this is my new YouTube channel. Most of you probably know me from TikTok. If you don't, go follow me. I post content regularly. And here we're going to talk about books, which is pretty much all I talk about. Yeah, so here I have a list of all the books I bought, or I guess was interested in, because of the titles. Judging a book by its cover or buying it because of that is one thing. I do that too. But the title is what I guess really makes you interested in a book in the first place. Unless it's the plot and then you learn the title. So before I start this video, I want to say that if I pronounce any names or book titles or anything wrong, please don't judge me too hard. I know my accent is not like great, but I'm trying my best. So the first book on my list is The Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. This book is a dystopian novel set in the future where a 15-year-old gang leader is committing crimes and generally being a bad person until he gets caught and is sent to prison, where he's forced to have this like brainwashing done to him, so he doesn't want to commit crimes anymore. It's a very unique book because of the language. It has made-up slang, which is a mix of Russian, English, German words. It's kind of difficult to read at times, but I promise you, it's very interesting. It's one of my favorite books actually. So the title, the whole title is an antithesis, like Clockwork Orange, like an orange, a living thing, working like clockwork. So second on my list is a poetry collection by Bukowski, Love's a Dog from Hell, a questionable man indeed. And I also need to say that some of these books are the Greek editions, so that's why the covers look very, very different. Yeah. Now, do I recommend this book? That's a good question, and I'd say it depends. I think there are some very beautiful poems in here, but there are also some very, very bad ones, where he is being a complete asshole and a misogynist and an alcoholic. But if you can get through that stuff, you should definitely read it. So the next book has a very beautiful title. It's On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. This book is a son writing a letter to his mother. It's very personal, very poetic, and one of the most beautifully written books of all time, if you ask me. And yeah, it's one of my most annotated books because it's that good. It's really beautiful. Definitely recommend it. So guess what the next book is? No, you can't. It's East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I actually haven't read this book yet, but trust me, I will. I really want to. This book is about two families who keep reenacting the fall of Adam and Eve, a rivalry between Cain and Abel. This is like a fan fiction of the Bible. What more can I ask? I love that stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I can recommend this one yet. Next, I have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. If you haven't heard about this book, what are you doing? Go read it now, please. Now, I found out about this book in middle school. I saw the title, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and was like, that looks familiar, I'm going to buy it. And I was not disappointed. This book is about Dorian Gray, who wishes to stay forever young and beautiful, so his soul gets trapped inside a painting, his portrait. It ages and gets uglier and uglier over time instead of him, so he can be young and beautiful forever. And it's one of the best books ever written, so go read it. I have another Bible fanfiction, and it's Paradise Lost by John Milton. This is an epic poem about the fall of Lucifer from heaven, his rebellion against God, and how he tempted Adam and Eve to fall too. So what sounds more beautiful than a book called Paradise Lost? And in Greek, O Χαμένος Παράδεισος, probably the most beautiful title a book could have. And that's mostly the reason why I bought it, because I haven't finished it yet. It's really hard. Yeah. Do I recommend it? I mean, if you have the time and the energy to read an epic poem written in the 17th century, then yeah, I say go for it. So next, I have a book by Camus. It's A Happy Death. I actually haven't read this book yet, but I believe I'm going to love it because the plot starts with murder and ends with the death of the main character. And that's not a spoiler because it literally says it in the back of the book. You can't see it, but that's okay. So that sounds promising and I'm probably going to love it. Slaughterhouse-five by Kurt Vonnegut is one of my favorite books of all time. I love it so much. So the main protagonist is telling us the story of what went on during the bombing of Dresden and how he started to get unstuck in time, which means that he basically time traveled during different events of his life and how he got abducted by aliens. This is an anti-war book and one of the best of its kind. Slaughterhouse-five sounded like a very intriguing title. The last book on my list is If We Were Villains by Emil Rio. This book is a bunch of theatre kids committing murder. So these students study Shakespeare and their own life turns into a tragedy. There's murder, there's dark academia, and it's a book called If We Were Villains, so that was all I needed to know to instantly buy this book, and I loved it. So I recommend it a lot. That's all for today of me judging books by their titles. In conclusion, my voice sounds better when I'm sick, weirdly enough. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Have a lovely evening, or day, or night, or whatever. Okay, bye!